Good morning. This is a message for you Marxists of Moscow, Idaho. At the end of the video, I'll have a little something for the regular denizens of Moscow if you happen to be watching this video and decide you'd like to stick through to the end. But for now, ye Marxists of Moscow. So, I was returning from church downtown and overheard a conversation, the likes of which I've actually heard before, and to my friends and my vast amusement, they have similar stories as well. And for those of you watching this outside of Moscow, this is how zany things can get here. But I was walking past an outdoor cafe, and an older gentleman wearing a red t-shirt that said he was a Marxist was explaining to two older gentlemen at a different table who appeared to be newcomers about church in Moscow, why there were so many people walking around downtown at that particular time. You know, my family and I were obviously in church clothes, and as I got close and I could make out every single word, I heard this older Marxist gentleman telling these guys, "We don't say his name. We don't say his name." Now here is my initial and verisimilitudinous reaction to that. The two other men at the table next to him who he was talking to started saying something reasonable like, "Yeah, we heard that there were a lot of Christians in this town," or something like that. And then I passed out of earshot. But we don't say his name. It is so like y'all to create bugbears, to create these monsters to fear, these great monsters. I mean, we know all about the cult of personality that communism fosters so nicely. Ain't no party like the Communist Party. Hey, ho! Now I'm going to have to sit here and listen to an explanation about how Marxism and communism aren't the same thing. Douglas Wilson is the Lich King, and we are his vast undead army. Y'all, Moscow Marxists, are afraid of the wrong guy. You're afraid of the wrong people. You should be afraid of this guy right here, and this guy, 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 and this guy. These figures to be feared. You should be fearing the insidious army of brain-dead, mindless zombie Christians that has infiltrated this town. That's who you should actually fear. Oh, that's the thing. You guys really imagine that we're under this guy's control. I don't even go to his church. Well, I do. I go to a sort of a satellite campus. It's a complicated situation. You get it. Now, I do think the guy's awesome, and you've got me there. Here's the thing about, what Douglas Wilson and his peers did in the 90s and 2000s was awesome in this town. And this town is one of the places that's attractive to Christians around the country. Hundreds upon hundreds of people have moved here in the last year and a half, 2 years, specifically to lead their Christian lives somewhere where they think they can make a difference here. And hundreds of people is a lot of people in a town this small. More on that later. Here's the thing about these people. They're going to do insidious things like have families, have children, build houses, be entrepreneurs. Man, a lot of us are entrepreneurs. You're going to create jobs, going to help create prosperity in such a prosperous area. The farmland around here is remarkable. I think we're going to bless this land, as the Christians who are here have already been doing. I'd like to ask a favor of you. I'd like you to picture us as actually being independent agents, as people with our own will and thoughts. And that's actually why you should be afraid of us. We're all over here doing stuff. We're starting businesses. We're doing art. We're making music. Butchers and construction workers and IT guys and school teachers, they're all coming over in droves. Creatives, technicals, well-rounded and skilled human beings of every ilk are coming here to do Jesus' work. Not Douglas Wilson work, not the work of he who must not be named, but he whose name is above all names. That's who you should be afraid of, O Marxists of Moscow. Let's be plain here. You all want a certain way of life and want to destroy a way of life that you see as antithetical to your ideal. Not just other, but antithetical. And before you issue any protestations, let me put you at ease. I want the same thing. I want your cult of death, your dehumanizing mode to be destroyed. And I want the cult of life, you can use that phrase, the cult of life of Jesus Christ to take over. So we can both be comfortable in the awareness that we're at odds and we're in conflict. To you other Muscovites, to the great majority of the population, I mean, when I moved here and shortly after that, all the COVID stuff came out, and we were already kind of familiar with the community, and there's definitely there's some tension. There's a conflict that goes on between the Marxists and certain Christians. And then there's a bunch of y'all in the middle. What I want to say to you guys is, so I do this a lot. I say that I'm about to say what I'm going to say, and then I do more preamble. Here's more preamble. My family here in the United States doesn't really have a place where we're from. I've moved a lot. My sister's moved a lot. My dad has moved a lot. And so I don't really know what it's like to be from a place. So I'll just confess that right away. I will say that when I spent enough time in South Carolina, in the upstate of South Carolina, a booming region, to begin to get a little upset with the South Carolinians about all the conservative Yankees who were moving down and unwittingly voting for bigger government and more government spending than the South Carolinians really wanted, changing the political landscape. It can't be an easy thing to have such an influx of people so suddenly. I know this is true of the people I know. I'm not going to speak for them. I'm going to speak for myself. I want to bring prosperity to this region in my own small way. I'm going to contribute. And we're coming here because we want the government not to interfere. We want to be able to have businesses and businesses that prosper. We want to be able to do good work. And so I expect that you'll be blessed by that. I know I am being blessed by everything you guys have built so far. There will be some bumps along the road, I am sure. But that's what I'm coming to do, is to bless y'all. So there it is, a video for my Marxist co-dwellers, and a little thought at the end for the rest of Moscow.
Aí sim é um homem de verdade, não é esses troços do grupo não, essas carcaças velhas, uó, fim de carreira.
Cadê você, profeta, autarquia? Hein? Pedrada no inferno, fala comigo aí, matador de demônio. Hein?